Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons, but more specifically, what they are going to do in the draft at their number 4 overall slot. Will they be picking at number 4? If so, will it be Kyle Pitts? Will it be Penei Sewell? Will it be a quarterback? Will it be someone else that I didn't name? I mean, really now
Or
with
an option that you didn't name.
what?
Or an option you didn't name.
Yeah, I
Which is
mean,
a trade to pick.
yeah, or if they're even picking at 4, yeah. So a lot to discuss. They've kind of been in the news. Supposedly they are open to trading the number 4 overall pick. So maybe there's a QB needy team that jumps up like the Patriots or the Bears. It's an interesting one, and it's really going to be one of the first big dominoes to fall on draft night, or maybe before then if a trade happens. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting discussion. So we're going to talk about what we would do and what we think will happen.
Yeah, and before we get into what you guys clicked on this video for, let's get into and like what you were thinking about when you clicked on this video, what you wanted to see, and the answers you wanted to hear. Let's get into the answers you want to hear once you started watching this video and started looking at me and my outfit right now. Rate the fit. Pretty nice, right?
Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah. I wasn't just randomly wearing this. I was at something before, and I was wearing beach stuff, so that's why I have it on. But anyways, didn't feel like changing. I like how it looks, and this is for you, Falcons fans. You've had it tough. 28-3. Let's get started.
I hope after 28-3, Jordan's outfit really makes you feel better. Like, what, 4 years later at this point?
Oh, it certainly does.
So,
yeah, I mean,
It makes me feel better.
yeah, 4 years and
Well,
like
to be
2
honest, though, I
months
wanted the Patriots to win that game.
and 2 days, I think.
Anyways.
From the time we're making this, it's Wednesday.
He's in. Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Brady
come on,
has
Jordan,
his
we
fifth.
just lost some of our audience. Come on.
Okay.
Let's start talking about the pick here.
What if James White was down? But he wasn't though.
He wasn't down. He was in.
He was in.
So, with the Falcons in this pick, it seems like it would be beneficiary for them to trade unless they wanted a quarterback or they really had their eyes set on a guy like Kyle Pitts or Penei Sewell or even a Rashawn Slater or even like a Micah Parsons. I don't know where they would go because they have some needs they could fill. So, for the Falcons, I don't think we're going to see a trade until draft night if we see one because I do think they have their eyes set on a quarterback and they want to see maybe if he's there or not. And if they could trade with the potential Bears or Patriots, like Ryan said, they could do that on draft night. Maybe something happens before, maybe nothing happens at all. But even if I'm the Patriots or Bears, I don't know if I'd want to trade until draft night because you might be potentially getting your 4th ranked quarterback on your big board. So I don't know. I think that we'll see the Falcons stay at number 4 until maybe draft night, but I'm going to say for now they stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I think that it might depend on, where teams have certain quarterbacks ranked on their board. Say if a team is really high on, say, Trey Lance and they have him as their number 2 quarterback, not where any of us have him, but let's just hypothetically say the Patriots, I don't know, have Trey Lance at number 2 on their QB board, and it goes, Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, 1, 2, 3, and then maybe that might prompt the Patriots to say, okay, our number 2 guy's there, let's go get him, give up a lot, it's okay, or maybe it's the Bears that like Trey Lance and want to sit him behind Andy Dalton for a little bit, but I think it might be difficult to do it now because then you're not going to get Trevor Lawrence, you're not going to get Zach Wilson, so it's probably if you trade up to 4, you're looking for one of Justin Fields, Trey Lance, or Mac Jones, but if you do it now before the draft, you don't know if your guy's going to be there. And then if you get your 2nd or 3rd, option when it comes to QBs you're looking for, like, is it really worth giving all that up and giving up all that future draft capital for a guy that wouldn't even be your number 1 guy? Because usually when you trade up, this is the guy we want. So if you trade up too far in advance, it might be just more of a risk. Like the 49ers, I believe they know Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are going number 1 and number 2. That's basically a foregone conclusion. So they have a 3rd quarterback. We don't know who it is. They do, though. Or maybe they don't yet, but I think they would. They have a 3rd quarterback that they know they'll be able to get, whether it's Trey Lance, Mac Jones, or Justin Fields. So they have more leverage than a team, say it's the Patriots, Bears, someone else that trades up to 4, because they just have a lot more question marks ahead of them. So I think it might be a draft night trade for the Falcons. Or if the Falcons just get an offer they can't refuse, it could happen before the draft. But like Tyler said, I would expect it to happen closer to the draft, if not on draft night. We always love draft night trades, especially when they're in the top 5. It gets pretty intense. But yeah, I mean, still a lot to figure out. But definitely could see them, pouncing on an offer if it's one they can't refuse.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it would be most beneficial to the Falcons to trade this pick away, and especially because they have a lot of needs they can fill, and sure they can get a good player at this pick. Most of the players, if not all of them, are most likely to be quarterbacks. The next guy who isn't a quarterback who's highest on your big board is a guy you could take if you really like him. But with the Falcons, like I said, they have a lot of needs in a lot of places, so they could trade down and build for the future a bit. And plus, I don't think they trade down too far. They could still get a solid player around 15, 20 area where a team might trade up. Or I don't know exactly what team would trade up, but I said 15 because that's the Patriots, and I said around 20 because that's around where the Bears are. But that's just the range I threw out there. So I do think they probably will or should trade. But if they don't trade, there's still really good players to take. And someone that's really high on a lot of people's draft boards, and rightfully so, is Kyle Pitts. Besides the quarterbacks, he's almost atop everyone's top 50 or hundreds who's making those. And for good reason, as I said. So I could definitely see him going to the tight end position here, taking the best player available to them. Because, again, they do have needs. But also, even if you get somebody good with this pick, but it is, I don't know, Micah Parsons or as I said before, Kyle Pitts or someone else they really like, a good lineman, they're not going to change your team in 1 year. And the Falcons have been struggling. I feel like they need more draft capital. And they're not in the complete rebuild, but they're kind of are. They've been in this stage for a long time, and it's been a whole dance watching the Atlanta Falcons play football. I think it's time to make a big trade and try to build for the future a bit more. I like Matt Ryan. I don't think they should move on from Matt Ryan, but the Falcons might be moving on from Matt Ryan, especially with new head coaches coming, or new coaches, I should say, rolling into Atlanta. So we'll see what they end up doing with that. I think they should stick with Matt Ryan. They also could go quarterback at this point. I mentioned that before. If they really like someone like these two guys we're talking about, I think they should trade. But there's options. I named some other options that the I almost said Bengals because I was looking at the Bengals on your screen, but the Falcons have at this pick.
Yeah, where are you gonna go?
Go ahead.
All right, no, real quick though, I just did a mock trade on the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator. By the way, very fun tool for all you other draft geeks out there. I have a fun time with it. I've played with it all 7 rounds. As multiple teams, you can do trades. It's pretty fun, pretty realistic. So I did a mock trade here. I was the Patriots. I acquired the number 4 pick from the Falcons, giving up the 15th overall pick, 96th overall pick, and 122nd overall pick this year, and a 3rd round pick and a 7th round pick next year. And in this draft, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields went off the board. So in this scenario, the Patriots would be able to pick between their preference of Mac Jones or Trey Lance. So this is, I mean, it's a computer, so take it with a grain of salt. But I was just curious when we said we were doing this video. I pulled this up just to see what a potential trade could look like. It's a lot giving up for the Patriots, but when it's trading up, especially for those quarterbacks and especially in the top 5, that team's going to demand a lot. And the Falcons essentially have all the leverage because they might be able to hold a bidding war between maybe the Patriots and the Bears, or who knows, maybe the Washington football team gets in there. Yeah, just something random I did. It's not, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, like I said, but just a potential model of what a trade could look like. But hey, maybe this will actually exactly happen.
Yeah,
I'm going to screenshot this just in case.
I don't want to go completely off track here, but it is still staying with this. But just imagine the feeling of seeing the Patriots trade up.
Yeah,
to this pick. Like if that happened, that would be a very interesting moment that we could all share together. Just because the Patriots have been so dominant with Tom Brady. I know he's not there. I'm not an idiot. And then with their quarterback situation, we thought they might have went to the draft last year. Every pick we waited. Sometimes they traded up. Thought they might have got Jake Fromm. They didn't. They kept just trading up for tight ends for some reason.
Yeah, that was
what they chose to do.
And
so if they were to trade up
2 more tight ends this offseason.
Yeah. So if they were to trade up or trade up in general, I think that'd just be an interesting thing for the sport because it could show that the Patriots might be moving on to a different quarterback that they could try to build a dynasty around.
It's going to be tempting if you're the Falcons. I mean, to look at where you are in the draft and realize there's going to be 3 quarterbacks drafted in front of you. Even if you don't want a quarterback, that potentially means at pick number 4, you're getting your number 1 guy in your big board. And I don't know if that would be worth a trade if they really liked a guy like Kyle Pitts. And I know you could say, well, why would they draft Kyle Pitts? They have Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones already there. But if you can add more firepower to that offense, I don't know why you wouldn't do that, especially since Pitts is at the tight end position. You could line him up there. That's like the most explosive offense you're seeing already. And then Matt Ryan, they can maybe they got that contract for him, so they got him, I think, for at least another year. Probably will be starting. And then they still have Todd Gurley, I believe.
So he's a free agent, I believe.
You're right.
They signed Mike Davis.
Yes, Mike Davis. They have.
I like Mike Davis, by the way.
He did a good job.
He could be good as well, as good as he was last year. This offense could potentially be really good if they want to get Pitts, if they want to go Sewell or maybe Micah Parsons or Rashawn Slater. That would be good either or as well. But it's going to be tough for the Falcons to be like, okay, we'll trade out this pick when they could be like, that's our guy right there. But
If
we'll
they have
trade
that guy.
If they do.
Yeah.
We don't know if they do. We're speculating at this point. If they do have that guy, they're not going to be trading his pick, it seems like, unless they get it off.
Because Pitts is the generational talent,
Mhm.
for sure, especially at the tight end position. Like, you're not going to see many times where a tight end is going in the top 5 consistently or is sometimes mocked near the top 5 consistently. You'd be like, yep, that makes sense. There's not any tight ends that are like that anymore.
Yeah, I think, what is T.J. Hockenson went like 8th, right? And
Yeah.
that was like really high for a tight end.
Yeah, I would.
And
I think Kyle Pitts will go higher than.
I think
do.
he'll go really high.
I think he could even be a guy that someone would want to trade up to go get.
Yeah,
bold
maybe the
prediction
Chargers. Who knows?
right now, okay? If he gets to the Dolphins are going to draft Pitts and convert him to a wide receiver.
Yeah.
It could happen, but I mean, this is a Falcons video, but I do like the speculation for
Yeah.
sure.
Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, so
We
there's.
love our Dolphins fans too. They give us a lot of support.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you, Dolphins
The
fans.
shirt's for you.
Yes.
There you go.
I thought it was for the Falcons fans.
It's for everyone.
It's for everyone to enjoy.
All right. So yeah, there's a lot of speculation for the Falcons as to what they're going to do with this 4th overall pick. Are they going to stay there? Are they going to trade it away soon or on draft night? We will see. The future will tell us what will happen. But we wanted to make a video talking about it. We also made a video or a segment of our podcast where we talked about this subject. So you can go check that out if you want more information on that. Go check out our Instagram as well while I'm plugging, and make sure to like this
watch
video.
the end of the podcast.
Yeah, don't do that. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, notification bell, comment down below. What do you think the Falcons are going to do? I think that's all we got to say in this one. So with that, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.